the broad framework of this conference. But I would like to put greater emphasis on the main conference of the MLAs and the state legislators.
Okay.
That is going to be the main focal area. What exactly is going to be discussed by them, which concerns the legislature in India?
मैं इसमें थोड़ा पॉलिटिकली भी सोचना जरूरी है क्योंकि मुख्यमंत्रियों को भी महत्व देना है कॉन्फ्रेंस का जिस तरीके से बज हो रहा है ना सर
Yes, yes.
तो इसमें क्या हो रहा है कि हर बहुत सारे लोगों को हमें भी उसमें इनवाइट हमें भी आना है ये भावना उनकी बहुत लोगों की इच्छा है तो हमें उसके भूमिका से थोड़ा सा
But this conference is not going to be the one-off kind of thing, but there will be, there has to be a permanent kind of structure because this is going to happen for the first time and it is an experiment and I am sure that this experiment will succeed and then there can be a permanent kind of platform where the MLAs of this country, I mean the state legislators can come together and they discuss things of common interest, discuss issues relating to the functioning of the system. As many of our guests in the morning pointed out, there are so many issues which need to be discussed and thrashed out by the political class, that is the legislators. Therefore, my emphasis would be on that. The rest of the things, as Chief Minister's conference, governors, and then spiritual people being associated with this, etc., these are all good things. But the core is the MLA's conference, the legislators' conference, where they will be discussing issues. Now, I was just going through this paper, where the some structure is available here about the discussion. The main theme, and then the sub-themes which will be discussed in how many sessions? Some 80 sessions or something. 80, yeah. Parallel sessions will be there. Of course, but these are the subjects which have been put in the
10 themes.
Yeah. So I was going through these themes. I think there is a need to add something or fine-tune some of these things.
Okay.
Depending on the ideas which have been thrown up. So now there are many issues which are important so far as the legislators are concerned. For example, Mr. Jayaprakash Narayan has pointed out the empowerment of the MLAs. The MLAs, are not free to speak their mind, etc., etc. This is precisely what I also said in the last meeting, which was held in Delhi. I had said that Article 105, of course, and the equivalent article so far as the members of the legislature are concerned. The point is that there is freedom of speech provided in the Constitution. All the members, they can speak freely without looking over their shoulder. But then, and then they cannot be taken to a court for whatever they say on the floor of the House. That is true. But what we find is that the ruling party members, particularly, they remain tongue-tied. They never open their mouth. They never open their mind. They are not allowed because they have to go by the party decision and the government's decision and all that. They can never oppose the government's decision. That is not the idea of Article 105. That is not the idea of freedom of speech. They should be able to do that. So that is one aspect. So they can have a free discussion about it. They can have a free discussion about it, particularly, the members who are members of the ruling party wherever they are. So that is a problem which actually affects the effectiveness of the legislature. So legislature has a mind of its own. We used to think that when Parliament speaks, we used to say that Parliament speaks like this. That means Parliament has a mind of its own. So Parliament speaks its mind. Is it happening? It's not happening. Everything is decided by majority there. Ruling party will support it and the opposition will oppose it. It goes like that. There is nothing like Parliament's mind. So we must bring it back. That Parliament's mind should be brought back to the legislature. That is the thing. So everybody, people should feel free to speak their mind. If a bill comes before the House and if a member thinks that there are certain objectionable areas in that bill, they should be free to oppose those things. Or, see, the idea is to bring it to the notice of the government that there are certain problem areas in that particular legislative proposal. If that is done, if so many people belonging to the ruling party speak out, it will have an impact. I have seen it. I have seen it happening. I spent about 40 years in the legislation, in Parliament. I spent 40 years in the Parliament of India. So I have seen how legislations are made, how the ruling party members behave, and what impact it has on the government when they take a final decision on these matters. So these are very important things. Therefore, it is very essential for the members of the ruling party particularly to speak their mind on important legislative proposals and also other important measures which the government takes. So that is one aspect. Then the second thing is about the about the anti-defection. Some mention was made about the anti-defection. You know how it impacts the political situation and the composition of the House and all that. Some people think that there is a need to revisit this law because their point is that it has not actually served the purpose. Therefore, it should be scrapped. That is one view, one particular view. Now, I have a slightly different view. In fact, why I'm saying this is that it needs to be discussed because after all, it concerns all these legislators. You know, therefore, what exactly is ailing? What exactly is the problem? This also needs to be discussed by the legislators. In that judgment, Supreme Court had made it very clear that it is not every whip that will result in disqualification. It shouldn't happen because that will needlessly curtail the people's freedom. That is not how it should be. And it should be confined to, for example, a no confidence motion or a policy matter which, serious policy matter concerning, brought by the government, or some such serious issues, not on every bill, not on every proposal. So there, Supreme Court says that the political party should make it very clear in the whip that this will not result in disqualification whenever they ask the members to be present in the House and so on.